Hello children, welcome back to Uma Talks. So here we are with a new chapter, okay, chapter 9, which is Heredity and Evolution for Standard 10th. Okay, so whatever is deleted that I'll tell you later, but we start with the chapter, okay. So Heredity and Evolution is the chapter. Now children, do you know what is heredity? No. Heredity and evolution, at least the introductory part I'll tell you. Heredity is the characters which an offspring, okay, inherits from the parents. Means some of the resemblances, suppose inherit I don't talk, some of the resemblances which a child has, okay, of the father as well as of the mother. So that is heredity. Hereditary characters, inherited characters from the parents to the offsprings. Okay, and evolution is when the variations become accumulated to such an extent that completely more about an evolved species is formed. Okay, so we are not going to talk at present about this, but this is the name of the chapter, so I told you. So children, here we start with heredity. Now, when a child is born, okay, you must have heard people saying that few of the features, like maybe the first and foremost thing is nose. Okay, so let's talk about the nose. The nose resembles the mother, okay, of the child which is born, and maybe the color complexion resembles the father. Okay, the eyes resembles the father, the lips resembles the mother. So that people who come to see the child, they say, okay, so that is what is inherited. That is what characters the child has inherited, okay, the baby has inherited from the parents. So heredity. Now, what is it responsible for this heredity? Okay, this inherited characters, how do we inherit characters from our parents? Okay, that only we are going to study in this particular chapter. So 9.1 comes with accumulation of variations during reproduction. Now children, when we did sexual and asexual reproduction, over there I told you that more about the result, the offsprings, or yes, the resultant of asexual reproduction is more about clones. They are carbon copies of the parents. There are no such variations, means lot of variation is not there in them. Okay, little, while DNA copying, little of changes will be there, otherwise they more about look-alike. But sexual reproduction is the one, okay, where quite lot of variations is seen. Okay, the child resembles the parents, but still he is an individual by his own. Quite many characteristics, or even morphologically outside, from outside, which we see that he cannot be said a carbon copy is of his father or a carbon copy of his mother. Okay, even two children born of the same parents, they do not have so much of resemblances. Yes, we can make out that they are brother sisters, sister sisters, but then they are not carbon copies of each other, and that is the beauty of sexual reproduction. These variations are caused due to sexual reproduction. So what it says is accumulation of variations during sexual reproduction. So it is during sexual reproduction, okay, where we see lots of variations. And sexual reproduction, okay, we are able to differentiate. We are able to differentiate one person from the other person, again due to these differences, these variations which we see. Now, you can say genetically, each and every human beings, let's talk about human beings only. Each and every human beings, we all have one nose, two ears, one mouth, okay, two hands and two legs, okay. The other internal features, stomach, intestine, liver, everything is more about same, but still we differ, okay. So that is what is variation. That is what we are talking about, okay. So here, when we talk about this variations, okay, there are changes in sex, as I told you, during reproduction, means during sexual reproduction, quite a lot of variations are there. Okay. So finally, father of genetics, when we talk about heredity, okay, Mendel's name comes first. So let me talk about Mendel. Okay. So father of genetics, here properly, father of genetics is Gregor John Mendel. Okay. So John Mendel is the father of genetics, and he did quite a lot of experiments on pea plant. I don't know if it is visible. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. So he did quite a lot of experiments on pea plants. So these Pea plants. Why did he choose pea plants? In order to make us understand how the characters are inherited. Okay, so he did experiments on pea plants. Now this particular pea plant has 7 contrasting characters. Okay children, so what do you understand by 7 contrasting characters? Okay, like let's talk about height. So height, there are again 2. So it is tall and dwarf. So this is one character you can see. Okay, let's talk about the color of that pod. Okay, अभी मटर बहुत मिल रहा है, so the color of the pod, okay, it may be yellow and green. Color of the flower, okay, so these are different characteristics. Like this we have 7 contrasting characters. So Mendel could study complete 7 contrasting characters of pea plant, and pea plant has a short lifespan. So in that short lifespan all the 7 characters could be studied. Okay, the pea plant, it was easier for him to study instead of some other animals or human beings or something like that. Okay, one lifespan he could study everything. So that is why he chose pea plant. Okay, now pea plant, so he took pea plant excuse me. Okay, so he took pea plant, and with the pea plant what he did, okay, he took suppose the first one which he took a plant, okay, and height, as I told you, for the height he considered, okay, tall and dwarf. Now over here children, I would like to tell you before I start with this, there are 23 pairs of chromosomes in human beings. Okay, total numbers 23 pairs of chromosomes we have as such in our body. Okay, now one pair of chromosome is responsible for one particular factor in our body. Means one chromosome is responsible for our height. One pair, I mean, one pair. Okay, one pair is responsible for the height. Okay, the other pair is responsible for our complexion, maybe the color. Okay, complexion. So another pair is responsible for the way we walk, the way we talk. So these are different characteristic features. Okay, so for like that 23 factors, traits or characters we have, and for each of these factors 2 chromosomes are responsible. 23 pairs means 46 chromosomes. So एक factor के लिए 1 pair means 2 chromosomes are responsible. And what do these chromosomes have? These chromosomes have got genes. Okay, genes. And genes, what is there in the genes which brings about all these characters? That is DNA. Got it? So DNA. So 23 pairs of chromosomes. So this actually, when we talk about chromosomes, okay, let's talk about it, genes, and these genes, they have DNA. Okay, so here when we talk about, this is the whole thing which is responsible for this heredity. Heredity, okay, the DNA present in the genes and the genes on the chromosomes responsible for heredity. Got it? So finally, when we talk about these 23 pairs of chromosomes, okay, we have 22 autosomes, 22 pairs, like you can say 22 pairs autosomes we have, and 1 pair of sex chromosome we have. Now this sex chromosome I will be talking in my next class. Here I will talk about 22 pairs. Out of these 23 pairs, 22 pairs are autosome chromosomes. Now what are autosome chromosomes? Okay, those which are responsible for all the factors besides deciding the sex. सारे factors of the body जो decide करता है, that is autosomes. So there are 2 types of chromosomes, autosome chromosomes and sex chromosomes. Okay, so autosomes are those which are responsible for all other factors. Color, the way we talk, the way we walk, whatever, the complexion, everything is autosome. Only deciding the sex of the child is sex chromosome. So 1 pair is only there. This is only 1 pair decides the sex, and other 22 pairs decides autosomes, all the different factors. Okay, up till here it must be clear. So height is also one of the autosomal characteristic. Okay, so and as I told you, till now it must be clear that each factor is governed by a pair of chromosomes. Okay, so this height, suppose plant. We are talking about pea plant only. Pea plant also. Now each and every organism, children, you are in standard 10. For the first time, you are introduced to this chapter. So let me tell you that we human beings have got 23 pairs of chromosomes. These numbers, these pairs of chromosomes, okay, keep differing from organism to organism. It's not the same in all the organisms. So, but two chromosomes are responsible for one particular trait, factor or characteristic that is fixed and final for all the organisms. Have it in your mind. So this tall, okay, it is governed by capital T and capital T. And DOF, it is governed by this. Now this is dominant. When we say dominant, okay, so when we try to denote dominancy, we denote by capital T. And this is recessive. When we try to, it is the same thing as small t we take. We don't write R over there. It is for our convenience. Okay, so we denote this. Now one more thing, that dominant will be present even it is present in heterozygous condition. Now what is heterozygous condition? If it is capital T, then also it will be tall. Okay, and if it will be capital T and small t, then also it will be tall. But recessive, it will only be small t and small t, then only it will be DOF. This is DOF. Short. Okay. So डॉफनेस इज अ रेसेसिव क्वालिटी और वो तब प्रेजेंट होगा जब आप केवल होमोजाइगस स्मॉल टी दिस इज होमोजाइगस कंडीशन. होमोजाइगस इज both the chromosomes will be the same. Okay, small t, so this is DOF. But here when we talk about capital T and capital T, this is also homozygous. But दोनों dominant gene है तो ये tall होगा, और यहाँ पे heterozygous है capital T and small t, then also it will be tall. Please have it in your mind. Refer the textbook also. Read it once. Try and listen to this lecture. You will understand. So this is dominant and this is recessive. Homozygous, when both the chromosomes responsible,
Right.
okay, will be when both these chromosomes okay, this is homozygous, this is homozygous, okay, and only this is heterozygous. So this is heterozygous. Let me write it for you. Hetero, Z-Y-G-O-U-S, okay, and these two are homozygous. Any doubts? Do write it in the comment section and let me know. Okay, children. So this is all. Now let me tell you about the law of dominance. Okay, law of dominance. Mendel gave law of dominance, and in that he said that in the presence of a dominant gene, in the presence of a dominant chromosome, the recessive is never able to express itself. Okay, as I told you over here, capital T, small t. Capital T क्या denote करता है? Tallness. Small t, what does it denote? Dwarfness. Okay, but still what does it show? ये express क्या करता है? Tall. This is tall. अगर हम बाहर से देखेंगे तो वो tall है, ये भी tall है. केवल dwarf, this is the one which is dwarf. This is one which is dwarf, otherwise that is tall. So let us do this crossing which he said. So Mendel took two homozygous plants, okay, one completely tall, he crossed it with dwarf. So this is the male plant, this is the female plant. Female ऐसे denote करते हैं और male is denoted by limb. So these are the parents. So finally what, children? This segregation takes place. Okay, so this capital T and small t comes over here, and okay, this is the end. This is F1 generation, or you can say F1 offspring, and this is tall. Okay, so in F1 offspring we get only tall. So Mendel wanted to know that this small t, it means the female chromosome does not play any role in deciding the characteristic in the offspring. He wanted to conclude that. So what did he do? He self-crossed. He took this F1 offspring and he again crossed it with capital T and small t. That I will do it. Up till here you can do it in your notebook. You can see it. Okay. Self-crossing I am doing again. The blackboard is a small one, so it's difficult for you. But then please try and understand. So this is capital T small t is again self-crossed with capital T small t to find out whether the small t plays an important role or not. Okay, so now this is self-cross. This is known as self-cross. So here segregation takes place, capital T, small t, capital T and small t. You have to make a checkerboard, children. This is called checkerboard. Okay, here this is male, this is female. Here also you can write this is male, this is female. Okay, so male ka these characteristics will go into the genome. Okay, so this capital T, male's capital T and this small t. This one capital T and small t. Okay, so finally here what happens? How will we go? This capital T and capital T will come together. This capital T will go with this capital T and small t. Again this small t with capital T, small t, capital T, small t and small t. So this will show tallness, this will also show tallness, and this will also show tall, and this will be dwarf. The ratio is tall is to dwarf is equal to, tall is 3 is to 1. So during the exams when they ask you explain Mendel's 3 is to 1 ratio or law of dominance, you have to explain the whole thing what I told you. Now children, at the end Mendel concluded that yes, this you can say the offspring which was present in the F1 generation, the F1 offspring was not pure tall. Now what is pure tall? When we talk about pure tall, okay, pure tall will be capital T and capital T. So it was not pure tall because we get small t and small t, even 25% only we get, but 25 here you can say 75% is to 25%. So 25% we have dwarf, so that shows that the offspring which we got, okay, as F1, okay, was not pure tall. It had small t also. Okay, it means for deciding the characteristic at the end when it is shown in the child, both the parents play important role, 50% role and 50% role. Okay, so it's more than enough I feel for today. So try and revise it. See the video many times, you will get it. Okay, so do like. I really worked hard so that I could get into you. Okay, so do like the videos, share it, and all those children, those who have not subscribed, do subscribe it children, so that as soon as I post a new video, you get the notification. Okay, and okay, thank you.